The Emancipation Proclamation was signed by President Abraham Lincoln on the 1st of January 1863. It declared that enslaved people in Confederate states were free, but the news did not reach everyone at the same time. In Texas, the most remote Confederate state, the announcement did not arrive until the 19th of June 1865, 2.5 years later, after the Civil War had ended. The moment a Union Army general read the order in Galveston, Texas, became the origin of Juneteenth, the oldest and most historically significant celebration of the end of slavery in the United States. This is its story. To understand why the news took so long to reach Texas, you need to understand the geography of the Civil War. Texas had not seen major Union military operations for most of the conflict. Enslaved people had no legal access to newspapers, telegraph, or official communications. Enslavers in Texas had strong economic incentives to suppress news of emancipation, and some did so deliberately. The result was that hundreds of thousands of enslaved people in Texas continued to be held in bondage for more than 2 years after Lincoln's proclamation had legally freed them. The arrival of Union General Gordon Granger in Galveston on the 19th of June 1865, with General Order No. 3, formally announced the war's end and freedom for all enslaved people in Texas. The defining moment came when General Granger read General Order No. 3 from the balcony of Ashton Villa in Galveston, Texas, on the 19th of June 1865. The order read in part, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves." The reaction among the approximately 250,000 enslaved people in Texas was immediate and overwhelming. People wept, prayed, sang, and began moving to find separated family members, to leave the land where they had been held, to begin lives that had been stolen from them. The first Juneteenth celebrations took place in Texas in 1866, exactly 1 year after Granger's announcement. These early celebrations were community gatherings, prayer services, music, food, and the reading of the Emancipation Proclamation. They were organized by freed Black Texans and often held outdoors or in churches. In the decades that followed, Juneteenth spread across the country as Black Texans migrated to other states during the Great Migration of the early 20th century, carrying the celebration with them to northern and western cities. Juneteenth became a living memory, a tradition that moved with a people who had survived the unsurvivable. For much of the 20th century, Juneteenth existed largely outside mainstream American awareness. It was celebrated in Black communities across Texas and beyond, but received no official federal recognition. That began to change in 1980, when Texas became the first state to make Juneteenth an official state holiday. Other states followed gradually over subsequent decades. The turning point came in the summer of 2020, following the murder of George Floyd and the national reckoning with racial injustice. In 2021, President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law, making Juneteenth a federal public holiday, the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established in 1983. Juneteenth today is observed with community festivals, music, food, readings, and reflection across the United States. Red food and drink, strawberry soda, red velvet cake, hibiscus tea are traditional at Juneteenth gatherings, a custom with roots in West African culinary traditions brought to America by enslaved people. Major cities hold outdoor concerts and family events. Museums and cultural institutions mount exhibitions on African American history. The holiday asks Americans to reckon honestly with the distance between the founding ideals of freedom and the reality of how long it took for those ideals to reach everyone. 3 facts about Juneteenth. First, the word Juneteenth is a portmanteau of June and 19th, first recorded in written use in Texas in the 1880s, and now officially the name of a United States federal public holiday. Second, when the 19th of June 1865 arrived in Galveston, Texas, the approximately 250,000 enslaved people who heard General Order No. 3 read aloud had been legally free under the Emancipation Proclamation for 2 years and 168 days, but no one had told them. Third, Opal Lee, known as the grandmother of Juneteenth, campaigned for federal recognition of the holiday for decades, beginning in her 90s, and was present at the White House on the 26th of June 2021 when President Biden signed the bill into law. She was 94 years old. What Juneteenth reveals is the gap between the law and the reality of freedom, and the capacity of a community to hold a memory of liberation across generations. The formal end of slavery in the United States came with the ratification of the 13th Amendment on the 6th of December 1865. But Juneteenth is not a legal date. It is a human one. It marks the moment that 250,000 specific people in a specific place heard the news that changed their lives. That specificity is what gives Juneteenth its power and what distinguishes it from every other civil rights milestone. Across the United States, Juneteenth is now observed as a federal public holiday, alongside Independence Day on the 4th of July, just 2 weeks later. The proximity is intentional in the way it invites reflection. Independence Day in 1776 proclaimed that all men are created equal. Juneteenth in 1865 marks the moment that proclamation began, haltingly and incompletely, to apply to all Americans. Together, the two holidays tell a more complete story of what American freedom has meant, cost, and still requires. Juneteenth falls on the 19th of June 2026. If you want to maximize your time off around U.S. federal holidays, including both Juneteenth and the 4th of July long weekend, Vacation Maximizer shows you the exact PTO combinations that give you the most days off for the fewest days used. Download Vacation Maximizer, free on iOS and Android.